Neighbor, you want some food? Your love is everywhere.
Sing you a song from morning to night, waiting for that summer song. Sing you a song from morning to night, waiting for that summer song. Sing you a song from morning to night, waiting.
Okay, my neighbor, both near and far, wherever you are, we thank you this morning for participating. And again, condolences to you, Audrey and Annette and the Cavallo family over there in Danieltown. If you've just joined us, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you are. Thank you for making it Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music. Hello, my neighbor. Stay tuned for a gentle touch of care. This is Fit FM 96.7. You're inside Morning Connection.
At a gentle touch of care home health services, we believe in person-centered care. We take pride in improving the health and quality of life of all our residents. Join me, Jody Marie Bihari, Monday mornings at 8 a.m. right here on Fit FM for a gentle approach to a healthier you. That's 8 a.m. Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music.
We welcome you, my people, to Facebook, YouTube, friends who love Fit FM, and Instagram right now. Yes, it's time for our Monday morning feature with Jody Marie, and she's here. Jody, I didn't take my blood pressure this morning because we know you're going to ask me, so we never take it this
Good morning, Julia.
I love you too.
Good morning, Fit FM family.
I love you too.
And let's see why Mega have problems with
Yes.
Julia,
yes.
You are, and the funny thing, Julia,
yes.
You need to read my paper this morning.
Oh, I do?
Developing healthy routines.
Yes.
That's what's on my paper this morning.
This morning was just
developing healthy routines is on my paper this morning, Julia.
I was just lazy this morning because I did not even exercise, and that is something that is part of my. You spoke with my blood pressure, so I see exactly where I am before I get into my exercise, so I know exactly how to do. So I listen to you. I want
you to practice what you're hearing, Julia.
I want to practice what you preach, but this morning was just. I just said no. I was just listening. I was listening to the Back to the Bible and just listening, and then the music, and then I would just let me just meditate. I was meditating this morning.
She's trying to tell me that she missed one step, but she did the other. I mean, fair enough, Julia.
Yes,
All right, fair
yes,
enough,
yes,
fair enough,
well,
fair enough.
Well,
Don't waste the
welcome, Jody Marie Bihari to the studio for the FM 96.7. Time for another feature,
it's
a
always
gentle
great.
touch of care. Yes, a gentle touch.
It's
For-
always good to be here,
yes,
Julia,
yes,
and to share with people. And funny enough, Julia, last week we were talking about something, and we had to deal with it. Still dealing with it this week, because after we left last week, I got sad news that one of my nurses passed. And this is a nurse who just left and went home on the weekend to go visit her family and to come back for work the Tuesday. And I didn't sleep the night.
as usual.
No, in terms of I couldn't. I was just in shock.
Okay, yes.
It was unsettling a bit.
Yes.
And it was a number of things, because she was a great part of our family. One of
Yes.
those nurses who just naturally caring and understanding, and
We're just born to be a nurse.
yeah. And then she had developed this bond with the family that she was caring for.
Wow.
And then there was the staff, and then it's funny enough, she had met my children as well, and so my
Oh.
children knew her in more than one capacity.
Yes.
Because she was also a teacher at an institution. And it was crazy how you teach these things, and then when it hits you, you have to know, be nurse and not be able to deal with your own feelings.
Right.
So I had to switch into gear of problem solving first,
And counsel and
and counsel and
Oh,
everything,
oh my goodness.
and then deal with me.
Wow.
And it's been a journey, because
Mhm.
you know that you're seeing somebody in front of you today, you're talking to them, you're having a conversation, and then tomorrow they're not here, and it's like you are like, okay, all right, God, how do we deal with this?
Mhm.
And there was just so many dynamics, because
Yes.
it meant talking to the other nurses, talking to the relatives, helping persons deal with this.
Yes.
And I actually never broke down until the following day.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, it hit me, and I'm like, wow, we're given each day as a gift.
Yes.
And I often talk about this on my IG page, because I believe, see, I'm getting emotional this morning.
Yes.
I don't want
And
to
you're getting me teary eyed too, because I'm getting some flashbacks of 5 years ago. When 1 minute I'm dancing on the steps right out here with emotion. He was
Yeah.
teaching me how to do the dance on the tile, rent a tile. And 1 minute he was teaching me how to dance the rent a tile, and the next in less than half an hour, doctor was pronouncing him dead. But we knew that before, because it happened. It was looking in my eyes, and Judy, we've been just this
Yeah.
is traumatic.
it's and it's
Another
always
trauma.
good when we can talk about
yes,
it.
yes.
It's very important when we can talk about it,
But
because
after a while,
we
after a while.
lose we lose a part of us, we lose people
Yes.
every day,
Yes.
and sometimes we don't get to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very important that we learn how to first know ourselves in
Yes.
terms of where our thought process is, where we want to be, and be real with ourselves, because if we're not real with ourselves, then we can't deal with the emotions that come with
That's
it.
right.
Who am I when I'm angry? Who am I when I'm sad? And be okay with knowing that this is my process. And it's okay. You're always asking yourself, am I doing it?
Yes.
And I saw how I dealt with the situation, and then I sat down and I literally bawled.
Yes.
I was like, Father, there's no way I'm going to stop doing this.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, it gives you a sense of fulfillment
Mhm.
that you are in your calling.
That's right. That's right. Well, my condolences to your team, to your nurse's family. I know it's tough.
Yeah.
It's really
To the
it's really tough.
family of Nurse Vanessa Rowe, our condolences to you. She was a beautiful, beautiful human being.
Mm-hmm. She was born to be a nurse. She was
Yeah, man,
born to
beautiful
do
human
yes.
being. I mean, as a human being, she's great, and
Yes.
it makes her even a better nurse.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
it makes her even better nurse. And they're hard to find, let me tell you, because sometimes you have to teach the nurses how to be compassionate, how to be caring, how to be understanding.
Yes.
But when you come naturally,
Yes.
it's a different
Yes.
it's a different thing that
Mhm.
happens, you know.
Mhm.
It's a different thing that happens. But the thing about this is that when we walk in our calling, God
Yes.
leads us to the right people for
Yes.
the right reasons
Yes.
at the right time.
Yes. Yes.
So I just me put
With
it.
us, yeah, and you see, I put on all. I didn't. I tried to put on. Look at you. I put on the mascara this morning.
God is good in all things, because
Everything,
I
in
believe
everything.
in more than anything, when we can be there for persons,
Yes.
and we can help them through the process, it's a good thing.
And we're making other people cry
And
this morning because Audrette Carvalho,
Yeah.
her dad Harry passed yesterday
Oh, condolences.
from Daniel Tone,
Yeah.
and she's also a nurse. You know, so
Yeah.
wow.
Condolences,
Yes,
darling. And
yes.
know that the grieving process is one you must go through. Do
Yes.
not avoid it.
Yes.
Deal with the denial, deal with the anxieties, deal with the hurt. Express
Yes.
how you feel.
Yes.
Don't bottle it in, because we tend to tell Jamaicans, don't cry, suck it up.
Suck
No,
it up.
that is
It happen-
abnormal.
yeah.
That is abnormal grieving.
You're not the first to go through this, and
Yeah.
you'll be the last.
It is abnormal. Don't tell people to
Yes.
get over it.
Yes.
Don't tell people to tough up.
It's-
Don't
yes.
tell people to not
It's
cry.
soon past, man. It's soon past. Hush.
It is
Hush.
abnormal to tell people to do that. It's impossible, because you've grown an attachment to a human being,
Yes.
and then it doesn't need to be a human being. And we spoke about this, Julia, before.
Yes.
When people are sick and they lose functionality of who
Yes.
they are as an individual, and they
Right.
can't walk, and they can't talk, and they can't do stuff for
Yes.
themselves, they go to the grieving process as well.
That's right.
When you're diagnosed with a condition that you have to be stabilized and you have to be in one place, you grieve because you lose that social life, you lose your income,
Yes.
you lose people around you that you're used to seeing every single day. You don't get to see them anymore. You lose probably even your family and friends, because when you were probably the one going to meet and greet people and do stuff for people, and you can no longer function in that capacity, it puts you into depression. It puts you in a place where
Yes.
you feel like you want to do something and you can't do
Can't.
something, but you are stabilized.
That's right.
So you go through that grieving process as well. And I think until we realize that we need to be literally and totally honest with ourselves about who we are,
Yes.
then we can't have that compassion towards
Yes.
somebody else. It is impossible for you to be caring towards somebody when you're not even caring to
For
yourself. You know,
That's
and it's
right.
not genuine. It's not coming from a real place. And we have to know that we need to first deal with us in
Yes.
order to deal with people.
That's right.
And you can't push away people's hurts, people's pains, and what they're going through, because you don't want to deal with yourself.
Oh,
you know,
boy.
so
I tell you.
That's the reality of
Yes,
that. And I
yes.
see it so often where people are being harsh to people when they're sick, when they're hurting, because they don't understand. So because they don't understand what somebody is experiencing when they're in pain, they don't know how to respond to somebody in pain. They tell them, oh, it can't be that bad,
Yes,
or
man.
just go
Yes,
lie
just go
down
go
and
lie-
sleep
yes,
it
man.
off,
Yes,
or
man.
whatever it is.
You want a little tea? You want a
Yeah.
little tea? You know,
Yeah.
we find everything else, you know, we find always to
Yeah.
get around it.
There's
to
so
get
many different
around it.
things we can do to support each other and to help each other in this life. And
And
it
sometimes,
takes a genuine heart.
sometimes just being quiet.
Yes.
Just hug me
Sit
up.
down
Just
and
hug
be
me
quiet.
up. Just don't sit down.
Silence.
Guys. Just don't say anything.
It's
just
one-
hug me up. Just hug me up and just don't say anything.
Yeah,
You know, because you don't know what I am going through.
exactly.
Just hug me up. Just hug me up.
Yeah.
Just hug me up.
It's a therapeutic, is what we call
Yes.
therapeutic communication in nursing, where we use the touch
Just
and
hug-
we
just
use our
touch,
senses,
yes.
and we use the presence of just silence, as you said,
Yes.
therapeutic touch, offering comfort. Is something that needs, because sometimes we play off the children. Oh, they don't understand.
They don't-
Oh,
exactly.
really? They do understand. They understand some more than
Exactly.
you and I because they are not filtered.
Yes. Yes.
They and so they become damaged adults.
This is from even in the womb.
Yeah.
They can sense things.
And we tell
From
our
in the
men
womb.
not to cry, and we tell our men to be tough, and so we have a lot of hurt men walking
yes.
around,
Oh, yes.
and they don't get to express their feelings, and so
So they must man up. And
they must
tough up.
man up and stuff, but they're human beings too,
Yes.
you know. And we can be angry, we can be upset, we can be on a roller coaster, but it's understanding who we are as individuals and learning to support each other is very important. You see, never plan to start off like this.
But it's good because there are quite a few people listening and watching us right now. Thanks to our Facebook, YouTube, and friends, all of viewers right now who are watching and listening, and who are going through. They're going through.
Yeah.
So we're just happy this morning. We're human. We're human.
Yeah.
We go as Nurse Jody says. We go through these emotions. You never know. You never know what and when. You just have to prepare yourself. Just prepare yourself.
And Julia,
and it's hard to prepare when you don't know.
It's not
it's hard.
The preparing,
the fear of the unknown. The fear of the unknown.
The preparing comes with us knowing ourselves.
Yes.
And being able to live an authentic life.
Yes.
I like to say this very often because it's become so much a part of me.
Yes.
It was a part of my healing process that I went through, as I was telling you in December.
Yes.
I went through this healing process, Julia, where I had to lock myself away for days and deal with all the stuff I never deal with.
Yes.
And I had stuff that I never knew I was still dealing with. I thought I had dealt with them and moved on. But I was so floored that I had to lock myself away now. And I say, hey, girl, you need to deal with all these things.
Yes.
It's just too much. And when you get to the place where things feels too much, you either want to leave the earth. I'm telling you.
Yes.
You either want to leave the earth or
I've
go numb and
I've
do
heard
nothing.
persons who are going through, you don't even know
how to respond.
And
you
they
don't
say
know.
things like, I wish I wasn't here.
Yeah,
I
and
wish
then
I
you
wasn't
wonder
on this
why they
earth
say
saying things like that.
unless you get to that point where you have gone through so much and not dealt with it.
Yes.
You will not understand that feeling.
Right.
And
Bobby, this morning we're psychologists, we're psychiatrists, we're everything this morning.
It's important to get to that place where you can be authentically you and not care what anybody else in this world thinks or says about you.
Yes.
Like it feels almost it's so refreshing. It's like a rebirth of yourself.
Yes.
Because you look at the good, the bad, and the ugly about yourself.
Yes.
You get to face it.
Yes.
And you need to say to yourself, do I want this? Do I want to improve this? Do I leave it behind? What am I going to do with this? And when you strip yourself of all those things and you say, hey, this is a brand new me. So when people hear you said, oh, you're going to reset, refocus, start over your life, they're going like, you can't start over. Of course you can.
Of course.
Every day is a new God-given day.
Oh
every 24 hours. If I want to reset every 24 hours, I can reset every 24 hours because man didn't give it to me. God gave me these 24 hours.
That's right. He renews mercies every single day,
every
single day. And start off fresh.
And even if you're not a spiritual person, logically, there is day and night.
Yes.
There is day and night. And if you want to create a new you every single day so that you can evolve and become the best version of yourself, you have that opportunity.
Yes.
I've heard people say, this is how I am and me not change. And it's like, that's the dumbest thing. I'm sorry, I'm saying this on air. That's the dumbest thing I've ever come across because I'm here experiencing new things every day. And it makes me either want to change something about myself, improve something about myself, add, subtract, realizing that, hey, there's a higher power.
Of course.
And then in me who believes in biblical principles, you know me, Julia, he created us almost like the angels. And if I think about how we think of angels, and we are a little bit lower than the angels, it means I have a lot to aspire to become. And it can't be that I am this one person stuck in this one way with this one personality and this same
box.
It is impossible.
Right.
If I am created in the likeness of God, it is impossible. It means that I must aspire.
Yes.
Bible study. I must aspire to become more like him.
Yes. That's
right.
It.
And
That's
in order to aspire to become more like him, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, in every area of my life, then it means that I should be learning, growing, changing, achieving more each day.
Every day.
And yesterday, people are going to bring up stuff from your past and they're going to make you feel guilty about it. And because they themselves have not learned to deal with them, so they're going to use their insecurities.
They haven't healed.
To throw on you to make you feel less of a person. And they're like, I'm not even listening to you. Like your thought process means nothing to me.
I always, Judy, sometimes when I see some movies or hear people saying certain things, I say to myself, Julie, you're not going to waste your eyesight on this, so you're not going to waste your ear, your good hearing, listening to this, all this negative energy and feeling this. No.
So to be healthy human beings,
exhale.
To be healthy human beings, we have to constantly look at ourselves and how we want to grow and what we want to do and evolve. And the more we learn, the more we apply it to our lives. And I'm going back to my topic now, Julia.
Okay, listeners. And it's good for you to say this, Jody, to talk about these things, because you're in a world where you meet a lot of people at the end of life. And you go through all these emotions. You see the family members come in, and so this is pretty much your world that you have to deal with this every day. And sometimes it's so sad.
I mean, you see, when you get to the point of understanding that it's a healing process, and it is a process that we all have to go through, it almost becomes as if
way of life.
It's a way of life. Like, I have the discussion with my 7-year-old and my 12-year-old, soon 13.
Lord.
Yeah, and we talk about dying, and how they feel about it, and it's like, hey, it is a part of the cycle of life, and we may not like how it feels, but we have to accept it, because all of us are destined for it.
Right.
We're all destined. We just don't know the time. We don't know where. We don't know when. You understand? Some of us, we're lucky enough, and why I say lucky enough, people just listen carefully, is that we might get diagnosed with a terminal illness, and we might see that our cure is not coming, or we're getting to that point. So we have time to reconcile with ourselves. But then persons know who just wake up and happen to have an accident, they don't get time to reconcile.
That's right.
You understand?
That's right.
But if you are in the process of the end stage of life, and you have time to reconcile, that is kind of a privilege. I don't know how people see it, but I see it as almost like a privilege, because you get to take that time to say goodbye. You get to take that time to say, I'm sorry. You get to take that time.
I forgive you. I forgive you.
Yeah. So you are given a privilege more than those who really just don't know,
or ask for forgiveness,
who really just don't know. So it's how you look at it, that it is a life cycle, and how you look at it, or how you approach it, is different, because you live life not having regrets.
Something, you are such a wonderful nurse. You're so young, and you're talking as you're young with a lot of experience.
It's almost 20 years of being a nurse. It's not that young. Some people don't last in their careers that long.
I know. Well, you're 20 years as a nurse. I'm 30 years as a broadcaster, and I've seen it all. I've experienced it all, So and I'm so happy we're at the stage right now with all this experience that we can share it with our listeners. We can share it with persons who are with us, because I tell I tell my young team, I said, been there, done that. Okay, I make suggestions, but I allow you to create your own experience, because it's such a wonderful thing being a broadcaster, and especially when it comes to the music side of things. I allow my DJs. He said, listen, I'm not going to sit and prepare the music playlist for you. Use your creativity. Just stick to the standards that we have here at FID-FM, and just allow your creativity to flow. And the same thing I'm sure you're doing with your nurses when you train them.
Yeah.
Well,
sometimes I think I'm too harsh because they don't like to listen because they think they know more.
Oh gosh, my DJs can tell you that I beat them every day. But
I will go nurse, and if you hear me say nurse, then they know. But I mean, we teach them the right standards, but you know that with human personalities, there are different things that are going to come out, and you have to correct, and you have to help, and you have to guide.
Just coach. Just coach them.
It's more like that, like coaching them along. And if a situation comes up that they've never faced, I taught them through it many times. I've been on the phone with nurses, and I was like, hey, tell me what's going on. And the first thing I'm going to say to them, more than anything, is, nurse, calm down. That's the first thing I'm going to say. I'm going to say, nurse, calm down so you can hear what I am saying. Just calm down. And if I hear them getting flustered, I was like, all right, nurse, I'm going to give you a minute. Calm down, and then we're going to go through this. Because when certain things come up that they've never seen before, or the patient is responding a way that they never expect, they get anxious, because we are all human beings. We see things that we never see before. We get anxious before we start thinking logically. So I get to put them in their place first, and I was like, hey, calm down and listen and follow me my instructions exactly how I'm telling you to do it. I said, do it exactly the way, because they have some of them, they're hearing and they're not following, and it's like, did you do exactly what I tell you to do? And
you let them know this is not something that you created yourself a few minutes ago. This is tried and proven.
So that for me is very important, and that's why our training is a bit different from everybody else. Because
tell us about the Training Institute. Let's swing to the Training Institute. So listeners, you know what? This is why I love Nurse Jody. I love having her here on a Monday morning. And a Gentle Touch of Care adult care facility. We're going to talk about that, because a lot of persons are listening and watching us, and then within the diaspora, and they have family members, grandparents and parents back here, and this is a way of a Gentle Touch of Care to assist them in taking care of their loved ones.
So all right. So first of all, our training program is a 9-month training program. The next one starts next month, and that's May, I think, the second week, which is about the 13th. We're taking our next cohort of persons who want to become practical nurses. And if you are in a program, say for example, you started a nursing program, I've heard this story before, your school closed down or you couldn't get to complete at that time. We have an accelerated program for those persons. Say for example, they went to 2 semesters of the school they were at before. We can assist you in making sure you complete the course, do your heart exams, and get your heart certificate. All right. So you need to contact us so we can help you through that process. We also have where we start from the beginning, which is our 9-month course. And we take you through 3 semesters of training. We do both online and face-to-face. And well, it's a mixture. Because we are a practical course, there's no way we can do everything online. So we'll give the theoretical framework online, and then you will come in for your practicals. It doesn't matter where you are in Jamaica. We have tailored our program so that we can facilitate persons who want to be a part of our training program. It's very affordable. We have payment plans for our course, and we make sure that our students get the right practical experiences. So we've partnered with doctors' offices, medical centers, our own home care service, and our own adult care facilities. So while we are teaching, persons are getting the practical experience that they need. And we have, from the very beginning, been an organization that is very, very keen on social entrepreneurship. So we make sure that we go out in our communities, not as much as I said lately, because I mean, we've gone through a lot. And if you are out there and you want to help support our organization and our community outreach programs, we welcome the help because we haven't been able to do it based on the fact that we have not been doing as well post COVID.
Yes.
So we're trying to rebuild. So
Yes.
we usually go out in communities and we help persons in and around Falmouth mainly.
Yes.
So far, we have extended probably to 1 or 2 communities outside of that. And we find elderly persons who
Yes.
the relatives are either financially unable to care for them the way they
Right.
need to be cared
Yes.
for. We assign our nurses. The nurses check them once or twice a week.
Yes.
Make sure they're taking their medications, give them a good bath.
Yes.
I was reminded of some pictures just yesterday, Sunday. One of my assistants sent me. So you remember when we did this project and they sent us a project where we went into an elderly's home and we cleaned the house from top to bottom.
Yes.
We gave her a good bath. I mean, like she had relatives, but they were not able to attend to her the way she needed to be attended to.
Right.
So we went in and we did.
Was
a
she
whole
bedridden?
week.
Was she bedridden?
No, she wasn't, but she had Alzheimer's, which means that she's
Okay.
gonna forget everything. So
Yes.
she was hoarding stuff in our house.
Yes.
You want to think that we were talking about the curtains and the dust and the dirt.
Yes.
She was in there, persons were checking on her, making sure she eats her and stuff, but
Yes.
wasn't dealing with
Right.
all the things to make her as comfortable as she should be.
Right.
And so our team went in and it took us a whole week, but we did it. We cleaned up our environment.
Yes.
We made sure she had a good bath. We combed her
Hair.
hair. We checked in on our medication. Somehow we realized that some of them were not filled for a while, and we got one of the
Wow.
nurses to go down to the clinic,
Mhm.
got her medications and all those stuff. So we've been doing community outreach programs. A lot of it pre-COVID. We
Yes.
haven't done so much post-COVID because, as I said, we got hit hard by COVID. So we are coming back, and we want persons who are willing to probably donate stuff because we always use from what we have at our organization and help as many people as we can with medical supplies and so on. But if you are out there and you want to see us help more persons in and around Falmouth, we are accepting donations in terms
Yes.
of what we can use to help
Yes.
more elderly persons in
Mhm.
situations like these.
Mhm.
I mean, we've been places where we recognize that an elderly is being abused, and
Wow.
we had to call the elderly department at NIS, and we partnered with them to get somebody to go in and
Yes.
assess the situation.
Wow.
So it's a lot of things that we were doing that we want to continue doing,
Mhm.
and it really helps because the nurses get the experience and people get help.
Yes. Yes.
And people get help. But we also offer the home care service as a part of our organization, where we
Mhm.
provide practical nurses to go in and give professional care to their relatives, to persons in their homes who need care.
Yes.
And we do this, as I tell you, everything is at a very affordable price.
Right.
And we also negotiate with our clients if they
Yes.
want long-term care.
Mhm.
Even these very affordable prices, we try to make it
Yes.
as affordable as possible. So we provide from 4-hour all the way up to 24-hour care.
Okay.
So if you just
Okay.
want somebody to go and take care of your relative for 4 hours in the morning or up to
Mhm.
8 hours,
Mhm.
where their meals are prepared, they get
Yes.
to take a bath,
Yes.
they get to take their medication,
and someone to talk with.
talk with. That's another thing.
To talk
These
with.
elderly persons need company. They
Yes.
need company people, because they are in a world where they're aging.
Yeah.
Think of yourself
Yes.
being lonely now,
Yes.
and just multiply that by 10 or 20,
Mhm.
and having insecurities about who's going to help me to do this,
Yes.
or
Yes.
I can't manage to do
Yes.
this, and so on. And it helps when somebody
And
is
some
there.
elderly, they have this routine because I'm getting personal now because mommy is 92
Mhm.
and she has this routine. I will lock the doors and then she'll go back and check again.
Yeah.
And then sometimes she said, "Oh, then mommy will forget what time of the if she goes to like a noon nap
Mhm.
and wake up, she wonder what time of the day it is. Then she will see me there and she said, "Okay, Julia, what's for breakfast?" Mr. Mommy,
Yeah.
it's dinner time.
'Cause you're not supposed to be there.
I'm not supposed to be there. So a lot of changes.
Mhm.
And now going through this, I'm seeing my mother, the vibrant woman who drives her stick shift fast like any man, a totally different human being as, they
Yeah.
get older. And patience is a
Very big thing. Patience is huge.
Yes.
Like if you're not patient,
yes.
and this is what I say to persons too. Yes, you want to take care of your
Yes.
relatives. Yes, you want to be a responsible
Mhm.
child
Child.
and grandchild.
Yes.
But this is it. When
Yes.
the emotions comes in,
Yes.
it is difficult
Oh, yes.
for you to isolate things in your past,
Yes.
things in your present
Yes.
that
Yeah.
makes you annoyed and upset, and
Yes.
you might be tempted, or you are doing
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
Take out that anger, that
Mhm.
hurt, that
Mhm.
resentment on that human being.
Yes.
And you have to understand that in these times you need help,
Yes.
because frustration in caring for
Mhm.
somebody that you know, and let me tell you, Julia, it's not just your grandparents and your parents.
Yes.
It could be a child.
Mhm.
It could be somebody that got ill young,
Young. Yeah.
so they got paralyzed,
Yes.
whether from an accident or from something that is something that has caused them to be ill, and now you have to care for them.
Yes.
That burden alone, one, the financial burden. So
Yes.
you're dealing with the finances, and then
Yes.
you're frustrated because it's an extra cost, and then you're having to deal with the human being. You don't get to give them the love that
Yes.
that they should be getting. You don't get to give them the care on the level that is
Mhm.
required.
Mhm.
And this is where we step in and we say, hey, let us help you.
Yes.
And it takes off a lot of the burden off your head, because now you don't have to think, oh, I have to get up and
Right.
wash, I have to get up and cook, I have
Yes.
to get up and do this.
Yes.
If you just have a little bit of help, it
Yes.
makes a world of difference.
Oh yes.
And
It does.
I've seen it
It
so
does.
many
It
times.
does.
I've
It
gone
does.
into homes where the caregiver is the daughter or the son, and
Yes.
they're worn out. They're so worn out to the point where they look like they're gonna die before their parents. No, it's the truth. I've seen it over and over
Yes.
again. The caregiver, who
Yes.
is the mother, the daughter, or
Yes.
the son, or the cousin, or whoever it is, they're so worn out by
Yes.
just constantly
Be-
doing
do it.
stuff that they look like they're on their last.
And you feel that if my life is I mean, I don't have a life.
Yes.
And my life is just
And let me tell you, just a little
Li-
bit of help
Yes,
to
a little
allow
bit of
you
help.
to go take care of yourself, allow you to eat, allow you to rest,
Yes.
allow you to go take a day on the beach.
Yes.
Go do your
Yes.
hair, go do something for yourself, because even though you have somebody is ill and not doing well,
Mhm.
or elderly, you also need to take care of yourself, because that cycle is going to repeat itself if
That's
you don't
right.
take care of you.
That's right.
You
And
know?
listeners, this is a way how you can assist a Gentle Touch of Care Home Network.
I don't care.
You know? Yes. The fish fry, because I'm looking forward to the fish fry. May 31. You,
Yes.
my listeners, out there all over Jamaica, all over the world. And if anything, you can contact me here at Fit FM, fitfmja.com.
Yeah, so we're putting on a fundraiser fish fry on
Yes,
May
31,
31st.
yes, uh-huh.
We're gonna have it in the backyard of our location in Falmouth.
On Market
It's a
Street
nice-
there.
Yeah, it's a nice little backyard,
Backyard?
right? And Terry Lennon has decided to come on board to help support
Oh, my
us. He's gonna be
goodness.
performing with a bunch of other persons
Yes.
that we're trying to get.
Good morning, Richie. Good morning, all the drivers right now. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Dr. Michael Godfrey. Thank you for tuning in.
Good morning, Dr.
Yes, Conor O'Brien over there, News Talk 93 FM. We'll join you at 9 o'clock. Thanks for tuning in. And thanks to Anne-Marie Behari and Zion Arafine. I know you're somewhere in the world out there. Thank you for tuning in. Because I saw your name popped up yesterday, so I'm not sure if you're in the UK or you're in Africa, but thank you for tuning in. And to Annette and Audrette and persons within the diaspora
Yeah.
who are tuned in, we thank you. This is a wonderful feature that we present with Jody Marie Bihari for Gentle Touch of Care every Monday morning. So, highlighting the services and just talking.
Yeah,
just
it
talk.
does help. It does help a lot of people, because sometimes persons just need an outlet.
We need to exhale. We just need an outlet.
Some persons just need an outlet, and then you need to know that other persons are out there being real in this
Yes.
world as well. We see so much fake on social
Lord.
media now that we need to understand that
Yes.
we are real
Real-
people
Yes.
in a real
Going through-
world. One of
going
my
through
pastors
real
used to
Yes.
going through real experiences.
Yes.
And we have to learn how to deal with those real experiences in a very, very practical way.
That's right.
Yes. So persons who want to find out more about us, they can contact us on our 2 WhatsApp numbers, which is 876-409-8543. That's 876-409-8543 or 876-789-5558.
Wow.
Those are our 2 numbers. You can DM us on Instagram, message us on Facebook. We're everywhere.
Ed Marine is saying thank you for your services. Ed Marine Vernon. Vernon, she's saying thank you on Facebook here.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yes.
And we want to be doing more. We just need everybody's support.
Right.
To be
And we
able
need
to
we need
more.
persons. We need persons to support the fundraiser, the fish fry on May 31. It's a Friday from 10 a.m. until 9 p.m. Enough fish and fried fish, coleslaw, roast bread, fruit festival. And I'm looking forward to hearing Terry Lennon. He is a nice gospel artist now, and he has some wonderful songs out there. So this is a wonderful way in which you can support a Gentle Touch of Care healthcare network, because they have a lot of work to do, people. A lot of work to do.
Yeah.
A lot of work to do. And it's only $2,000, and this is cheap. Because I go to these fish fries every week, and $2,000 is cheap for what I'm going to get.
So we're trying.
Dr. Godfrey says Dr. Godfrey ordered already 3 parrot fish. So we're good there. At least we have some orders there. We have the orders there already.
Dr. Godfrey is always supporting us. He's one of our partners. Our nurses goes to his office for practical experience as well, and he's always seeing our patients.
And they'll get a lot of practical work there because his he's always full. It's always full. Thank you very much, Dr. Godfrey. Thank you very much. Our doctor here at Fit FM also. So Jody, we do this again next Monday morning. We do this again next Monday morning at 8 o'clock. It's always a pleasure speaking with you and highlighting the services.
Always a pleasure being here.
Always, my darling. I'm going to check my blood pressure right now.
At a Gentle Touch of Care Home Health Services, we believe in person-centered care. We take pride in improving the health and quality of life of all our residents. Join me, Jody Marie Bihari, Monday mornings at 8 a.m. right here on Fit FM for a gentle approach to a healthier you. That's 8 a.m. Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music.
Thank you very much, Anne-Marie Bihari. Yes, she says there's going to be soup there too. All right, so we have soup, fish and soup, and festival, and all the nice things, So we're looking forward to that fish fry on the 31st. Yes, Jody, we're still live. We're still live, so yes, you can. We're still live.
I never realized you were still there.
Yes.
I was just saying to you that hopefully
the mic. Okay. You want to talk to me off air? It's off air. All right, listeners. Bye bye. Okay, listeners. She's saying bye bye. Okay, viewers. Bye bye. She wants to speak with me off air.
Blessings and light. This is Imara, the musical revolutionary. You're in host and the community buzz.